Is it complicated for you as a woman, as a WNBA player?
It's not complicated for me at all. Even if there's a few times that we've been at a club at the same time, Kobe's not the kind of guy, never been like, you know, Lisa, go get that girl or tell her or send her this. I have other NBA friends that are like that. Kobe's, he was never like that. I just never have ever seen him being the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's possible. I just don't believe that. And I'm not saying things didn't happen. I just don't believe that things didn't happen with force.
Is it even a fair question to talk about it, considering he's no longer with us and that it was resolved? Or is it really part of his history?
I think that the media should be more respectful. At this time, it's like if you had questions about it, you've had many years to ask him that. I don't think it's something that we should keep hanging over his legacy. I mean, it went to trial.
Yeah, the case it was dismissed because the victim in the case refused to testify, so it was dismissed.
And I think that's how we should leave it.
Now, the case that they're talking about took place in 2003, as you recall. And Kobe Bryant was accused of rape. And eventually the accuser refused to testify. There was a settlement, and Kobe Bryant issued an apology, not for the alleged rape, but for the confusion that he feels occurred. Here's what he said in part in his letter. Although I truly believe this encounter was consensual, I recognize now that she did not and does not view this incident the same way I did. I now understand that she feels that she did not consent to this encounter, end of quote. He publicly apologized to her, and some money changed hands. We don't know how much changed hands, and that was in 2003. Now, Snoop Dogg, the rapper, who has from time to time referred to women as the B word and the H word, was not amused. Here's what he said.
Gayle King, out of pocket for that. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that? I swear to God, we the worst. We the worst. We expect more from you, Gayle. Don't you hang out with Oprah? Why y'all attacking us? We your people. You ain't coming after Harvey Weinstein asking them dumb questions. I get sick of y'all. I want to call you one. Is it okay if I call her one? Funky dog head. How dare you try to tarnish my motherfucking homeboy's reputation, punk motherfucker. Respect the family and back off before we come get you.
Now, I should also point out that Snoop Dogg also says at the end of the Instagram post criticizing Gayle King, said, "Free Bill Cosby." I kid you not. What are we up to against Bill Cosby? 55 allegations? 55 different women? Of varying races and ethnicities? Free Bill Cosby? Are you serious? Gayle King did issue an apology about the soundbite of the interview that CBS put out. She feels that the soundbite gave people the impression that all she talked about was the allegation against Kobe. Here's what Gayle King said.
I've been up reading the comments about the interview I did with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant. And I know that if I had only seen the clip that you saw, I'd be extremely angry with me too. I am mortified, I'm embarrassed, and I am very angry. Unbeknownst to me, my network put up a clip from a very wide-ranging interview, totally taken out of context, and when you see it that way, it's very jarring. It's jarring to me. I didn't even know anything about it. I started getting calls. What the hell are you doing? Why did you say this? What is happening? I did not know what people are talking about.
By the way, here's the part where I must say, I have no idea why Snoop Dogg was that angry. Gayle King is a journalist. or at least she's supposed to be a journalist. Her job is not to be a PR firm for anybody. It was a perfectly legitimate question to ask and a perfectly legitimate follow-up question to ask. Well, would you really be the person to judge it because, after all, you are a friend of his? And she goes, yeah, you're right, I am a friend, but I think something happened, but I just don't think it was forced. That's what she said. That's what Kobe says. Something happened, it wasn't forced. I'm trying to figure out what it is that she did that was so damning.
So I've been told, or I've been advised, to say nothing.
By the way, she's getting death threats.
Just let it go. People.
And keep in mind, Snoop Dogg is not known as somebody who's not beyond using violent language.
Will drag you, people will troll you, it'll be over in a couple of days. But that's not good enough for me, because I really want people to understand what happened here and how I'm feeling about it. I reached out to Lisa because I know that she's a longtime friend of Kobe's, to talk about his legacy and their friendship. We had a really wide-ranging interview, talked about many things: his career, his passion, his sense of humor, the way he was mentoring other people, how he was starting his next chapter. It was wide-ranging. And yes, we talked about that court case, because that court case has also come up. And I wanted to get Lisa's take on it as a friend who knew him well, what she thought, where that...
So what's the problem? What did Snoop Dogg say in his response to her on Instagram? Punk, blank, blank, respect the family and back off, B-word, before we come get you. What does that mean, before we come get you?
should stand. And I thought it was very powerful when she looked me in the eye as a member of the media to say it's time for the media to leave it alone and to back off. During the course of the interview, I asked follow-up questions because I wanted to make sure that her position and perspective were very clear. And at the end, when she said it's time to leave it alone, as I said, I thought that was powerful. And I insisted that part be in the interview because I thought that it put a nice button on that part of the conversation.
I thought you just now said you didn't know that they were going to edit it or they would release that segment.
When the interview aired, we got a great reaction to it. I talked to Lisa last night. I believe that Lisa was okay with the interview.